It's kind of hard to upstage Bob McDonnell at his own state, but I tried for that bus. My goodness, thank you. What a welcome. Virginia, we're going to win on November 6th, I'll tell you. Now, there are a few people I want to thank. I want to thank Ricky Skaggs for Skaggs. Boy, I can't get it right. Ricky Skaggs for entertaining. He was just entertaining us just a few miles down the road in Roanoke, and he is a great entertainer, and I appreciate his support and his help and all the work he's doing. And thank you to all these leaders in your state. I got a whole list here to make sure I get them right. And now you just saw the governor, Governor Bob McDonnell. Is Lieutenant Governor Bill Bolling here? I think he is. Isn't he somewhere? Lieutenant Governor, how are you? Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli. Where's the Attorney General? Is he up there? He's somewhere. I don't know where he is, but I've seen pointing fingers. There he is down there. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate your being here. Eric Cantor, Majority Leader you just heard from. Leader Cantor, thank you. And the next great senator from the great Commonwealth of Virginia, none other than Governor George Allen. I also want to make mention of the fact that a lot of people across this country are having a real hard time right now, particularly those that were hit by the hurricane. And I hope you'll keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And if you have a few extra dollars, sending them along to the American Red Cross or to the Salvation Army or to other relief organizations can make a difference in the lives of our fellow citizens. We care about them. It's part of who we are as Americans to step forward when people need our help. And this is one of those times. So thank you for the help you provided and for the help you're going to provide. This is an election of great consequence, and I think you understand that. I know there are some people who believe we should just stay on the current course that we're on, and they think things are going just fine right now. I don't believe status quo is the right course for America. I believe that America finally needs real change. It was promised we're going to give it President Obama's campaign slogan is forward. I think a better term would be forewarned. We've seen the results of the last 4 years. We've got a lot of people who are hurting, and they don't want to see another 4 years like the last 4 years. I mean, do you want to see 4 more years with 23 million Americans struggling for a good job? Do you want to see 4 more years with rising taxes? Do you want to see 4 more years with higher and higher gasoline prices? Do you want to see 4 more years with Washington and gridlock? Look, I know that the president wants to see 4 more years, and that's his chant, 4 more years, 4 more years. But our chant is this, 5 more days, all right? 5 more days. Now, the president's been trying to find a new idea because he knows people aren't happy with what's happened over the last 4 years. We had 3 presidential debates, 1 vice presidential debate, and the president wasn't able to put forward a plan to get the economy going. He just says he's going to do more of the same. And he came out with a brochure lately, a lot of pictures in it. But again, no new ideas to get the economy going. And then he came up with an idea last week. He's going to create a Department of Business, all right? I just don't think another cabinet chair is going to create the jobs that America needs. And so I'm entitled to make sure that we get a president who understands business as opposed to tries to hire someone to the cabinet who has a background in business. His campaign seems to have been reduced to smaller and smaller things. As people are facing more and more challenges, and he's been looking for an agenda to carry forward in the campaign other than just forward, more of the same. Why, for a while there, he was talking about saving characters on Sesame Street, and then it was word games with my name that he was playing, and then, of course, he got very anxious and went out there and just attacked me day in and day out. Attacking me does not create an agenda for him. And his campaign and his address is all about attacking. We actually have a plan to get this economy going. We're going to put it in place. You see, I fundamentally believe in the American people. I believe in America. I believe that America is going to come roaring back if we do what we've done from the very beginning of the country, which is to unleash the freedom and the freedoms of the American people and let them pursue their dreams. And so my plan is based on 5 key steps that get this economy going. And you know what they are? Number 1, take full advantage of our oil, our coal, our gas, our nuclear, and our renewables. This is kind of our economy's ace in the hole right now, because someone discovered not just how to drill into the earth vertically, but then how to go horizontally and to tap into pockets of oil and gas. And so we have a lot more of it than we thought we had. And by virtue of that technology, we can have North American energy independence within 8 years. That means jobs here in the energy sector as well as in manufacturing. Manufacturing uses a lot of energy, and energy here will be abundant and inexpensive, and so manufacturing is going to come back. And by the way, energy jobs and manufacturing jobs, they create hospitality jobs and restaurant jobs, a lot of jobs. This is a big plus for us, and taking full advantage of it is going to get us quickly again. That's number 1. Number two, just a little background. We're the most productive nation of any major nation on earth. Now, productive means this. It means that when you add up all the things that are made in America, including all the services that are sold in America, you add them all up and divide them by the number of workers in our workforce, the output per person is greater than other nations. What that means is that trade is good for us. And so opening up new markets for trade, selling our goods, particularly in Latin America, it's a huge market, growing middle class. We could expand there. I want to make trade work for America by opening up markets. And I also want to make sure that if nations cheat, if nations steal jobs by not playing by the rules, we hold them accountable. That's what I'll do with China. We're going to make... Number 1 is energy. Number 2 is trade. Number 3 is making sure that our workers have the skills they need. There are 47 different government training programs in the federal government. Think of that. 47. Reporting to 8 different agencies. Think of all the overhead, all the bureaucracy, all the bureaucrats. I'd like to take those dollars and bundle them up and send back Virginia its fair share and say, Virginia, you run your program for the way you think best. And I want to fix our schools, too, for the coming generation. I want our kids to have the skills they need as well. I think it's a tragedy that the nation that invented public education is performing in the bottom third or bottom quarter of education accomplishment. It's just unacceptable. I won't go through all of what you have to do. The key, by the way, is all about teachers. It's all about hiring the best and brightest, promoting the very best, making sure they're well compensated. And the key is teachers. And to make sure we're focusing on teachers, we've got to put the kids at the top, the kids, the parents, the teachers, and the teachers' union is going to have to go behind. That's number 3. Number four, and this may not immediately connect with why the budget has anything to do with jobs, but let me tell you, if you're an entrepreneur thinking about risking your life savings to start a business, or if you're some big company that's thinking about investing hundreds of millions or billions of dollars building new factories in America, you're not going to do that if you think we're on the road to Greece. And if we keep on spending $1 trillion more than we take in every year, that's the road we're on. And so I commit to you that I will do everything in my power to cut federal spending, to cap federal spending, and finally get us on track to a balanced budget. number 5 is this. I want to champion small business. I want to make it easier for small business. Look, I was just a few moments ago at Bill's Barbecue. Some of you know Bill's Barbecue in town? Yeah. They used to have quite a few restaurants, as many as 200 employees. The owner of Bill's just told me that she's going to close her doors. Business is closing up. And I said, why? And she said, taxes, federal regulations, and then she also said Obamacare. Taxes, regulations, and Obamacare. Those 3 things are crushing small businesses across America. You realize, let me just take you through the calculation on taxes. If you're a small business, a successful one, you can calculate how much you're going to give to the government. I spoke to a guy in St. Louis who is in electronics business, 4 employees. He and his son calculated how much they send to government with federal income tax, which is as high as 35%, payroll tax, state income tax, state sales tax, real estate tax, gasoline tax. I mean, you add all these up, they said over 50% of what their business makes, they send to government. Now, he said, think about this, Mitt. He said, you know, when you start a small business, your chance of succeeding is not real high. I mean, the failure rate on small businesses is pretty significant. And he said, and if you're lucky enough to succeed, then the government wants more than half of what you make. And because of that, businesses are less likely to get started and to hire people. And so I want to make sure that we bring our tax rates down. The president wants to raise taxes on small business. I will not raise tax on small business or on middle-class Americans. We've also got to get regulators to see that regulators have to see that their job is in helping businesses, not killing them. Big business can handle regulations, by the way. Great big businesses can handle it. Oh, it slows them down, but they can handle it because they got all the lawyers in the world. Small business gets crushed by regulation. Got to make it easier for small businesses. And by the way, Obamacare, that's one of the things that I heard from Bill's Barbecue, and that is, boy, Obamacare, the cost per employee was just backbreaking. They couldn't possibly see how to finance it. And so one thing we've got to do if we want to keep jobs is to get rid of Obamacare and replace it with Now, by the way, let me just ask the leader over here. Leader Cantor, when was the last time you met with the president on the economy or jobs, on the budget? He says almost a year. We'll have to go back and check the calendar. Let me tell you, for me to get the things done I just described, I'm going to have to reach across the aisle and meet with good Democrats who love America just like you love America, and they're all good Democrats like that. I'm going to meet regularly with Democrat leaders and Republican leaders. I won't do that once a year. When I say regularly, I mean much more frequently than that. Because we're going to have to work together. These are critical times. This is an election of consequence. This is an election where I think we're not going to just shape the country for 4 years, but for a generation. And so it's important that we have a president who understands how to work across the aisle. I was elected governor in a state, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We have a few Democrats in my state. My legislature is 85% Democrat, or was when I was governor. 85%. We had a multi-billion-dollar budget gap. We didn't go to work attacking each other. We went to work to try and do the people's business, as the Senate President said to me. He said, you know, the campaign's over. We've got to do the people's business. And we did. We cut state spending. We didn't just slow down its rate of growth. We actually cut it. We balanced the budget every year. A $3 billion budget gap became a $2 billion rainy day fund. This has to happen in Washington, and I will bring it to Washington. I want you to know, I'm excited about the prospects for our country. I'm not down in the dumps. I know we face real challenges, real concerns. But the American people are innovative, creative, can-do, entrepreneurial, hard-working. The American people have what it takes to come out of these tough times if we got the right person leading our nation. And if we pull together.